Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Is the mic okay? Is the sound okay in the back? Fantastic. My beautiful people, have you ever seen someone who's accomplished? Maybe an athlete or a writer or someone who's rich and so on. And you're wondering, what does that person have that I don't have? What is that special quality that he possesses or she possesses that I don't? And the answer is nothing. They're human just like you. Arms, legs, eyes, and ears. So, how come some people are able to accomplish something in life and some people can't? The journey, ladies and gentlemen, starts with what I like to call desire. Everybody in this world has one of four desires: the desire to be rich, or the desire to be famous, or the desire to be powerful, or the desire to be influential. By the way, if your desire is money, there's no shame in it. But I want all of you now to take a minute and think about which one of the four means the more to you. For example, some people, they just want to have money. They don't care if people know them or not. Some other people, they just want to be famous. They don't care if they're rich or not. Some other people, they want to be in charge. They want to be leaders. They don't care if they get rich out of it or not. Again, different people have different desires. So think about it for now. Which one of the four is the most important to you? How about you, sir?
Human connection, connecting with people.
So you want to be influential. You want to do something that people, like leave a legacy, do something that people remember. Fantastic. How about you, ma'am?
Actually, it's the same. To be fair.
Anybody else? Who wants to be famous? Raise your hand. It's okay if you are, by the way. Who wants to be rich? That's it. I know. A lot of people. Who wants to be a leader? Who wants to be powerful? So you see, this is the first step. Finding out which one of the four drives you forward. And now we move to step number two. I like to call the talent. Have you heard of the 8 types of intelligence? Anybody? Now, everybody has one or two or sometimes 3 of 8 types of intelligence. I'm going to go through them now. And what I want you to do, when I mention each one of them and describe it to you, start ranking yourself. Is it high on your list or is it low? So from 1 to 8, which one is your strength, or like, I mean, like you feel like it's your strength, and which one doesn't describe who you are? Let's start with the first one. It's called the linguistic talent. Are you a person who enjoys reading and writing? Do you enjoy poetry? Do you like in your spare time to, I don't know, solve the crossword puzzle? Is it easy for you to learn a new language? For some people, it is. For example, I'm like my sister. She watches a lot of Turkish soap operas. She watched them so much she can actually speak the language. I could never do it. So, but some people can pick up languages easy. Are you a person who find it easy to like memorize things? If this describes you, you have a linguistic talent. Raise your hand if you do. Fantastic. Put it at the top, maybe number 1, number 2. Next, the logical talent. Do you like solving puzzles? Do you like math problems? Do you like to play video games in your spare time? Do you understand or easily understand charts, graphs and whatever? If so, you have a logical talent. Raise your hand if you do. Fantastic. Put it at the top. Again, as we go on, you can actually shift. So maybe one is better than the other and so on. Next, the body talent. Do you like to spend most of your time outside? Do you love sports? Are you the kind of person who likes to do things with their hands? For example, fix things around the house or cook, like you are like a very handy person. If so, then you have a body talent. Raise your hand if you do. Fantastic. Number 4, the social talent. When you are put in a group, is it easy for you to already take control, be a leader? Do you have a lot of friends? Is it easy for you to talk to people that you don't even know? Are you an extrovert? When it's a party, are you the fun person in the party, for example? If so, you have a social talent. Raise your hand if you do. Yes, yes, she does. Number 5, the personal talent. Are you a disciplined person? You can set goals. Are you a good planner, for example? Are you the kind of person who doesn't talk much, but you rather listen most of the time? Do you have a high respect for time? If so, you have a personal talent. Raise your hand if you do. Fantastic. Number 6, the musical talent. Do you love to play an instrument? Is it easy for you to learn how to play an instrument? Do you have a beautiful voice? Do you sing in the shower? If so, do you like to be in the spotlight? So, for example, you want to be on stage, you want to speak, for example. If so, you have a musical talent. Raise your hand if you do. Next, spatial talent. Do you prefer books that has pictures more than words? Are you a person who enjoys drawing and taking pictures? Are you a person who stimulated by colors? Can you identify 3D objects? Can you just imagine them in your head? Is it easy for you to know where north, south, east, and west are? For some people, for example, I could never do it. But for some people, it is. Do you have a special talent? Raise your hand if you do. Fantastic. Last but not least, nature talent. When you travel, do you prefer to not go to like a busy city, or like you enjoy nature more? Mountains and forests and so on. Do you have pets? Do you like taking care of animals? Are you the kind of person who cares too much about their body, so you don't eat a lot of junk food because you worry too much about your health? If so, you have nature talent. Raise your hand if you do. Fantastic. Now, you have listed on your piece of paper these 8, right? Are you guys with me? So you have listed these 8. List them in an order. Which one you think is your strongest, and which one you think, yeah, this doesn't describe me? Go ahead. I'll give you 2 minutes. Go through the list again. Do you want me to go back? All right. Let's start again. Linguistic talent, logical talent, body talent, social talent, personal talent, musical talent, spatial talent, and nature talent. Did you list them? All right. Let's take some inputs from the audience. Which one is your strongest?
Spatial.
Spatial is your strongest. And which one is your weakest?
Linguistic.
Linguistic. All right. Let's get someone else. What's your strongest? Logical. And what's your weakest? Huh? Planner. So a personal talent. All right. Somebody else. What's your strongest, ma'am? Logical. What's your weakest? No, which one is the
Solving puzzles.
Okay, so logical is your strongest, right? Which one is the weakest? No, I said list them, all the 8. List which one is strong and which one is weak for you. How about you, sir?
Yeah, I mean, connecting people.
So the social is your strongest. What's your weakest?
Singing and
So musical, for example. So you see, different people have different talents. Sometimes you're strong in one, but you lack discipline in another, and so on. However, finding out what your talent, again with your desire, is now narrowing the path to where you can excel. Let's say, for example, your desire is to be famous, and you have a body talent, for example. You can be an athlete. Let's say you have a logical talent and you like money. You can work in banking, and so on and so forth. So now you have a desire and a talent. So you remember what I said earlier in my keynote? A lot of people, they just try a lot of things just to see what hits. No, now we know exactly where you can excel. And we move to step 3, hobby. You have a talent, but you do it as a hobby. Maybe you have a musical talent. And every morning in the shower, hello, it's me you're looking for. Maybe you have a special talent. You like to draw. And you're attending a boring workshop by this Qahtani guy, and some of you might be drawing right now, right? Maybe you have a social talent. You have social media accounts, you have some followers, you post on a daily basis. However, it's just a hobby. And the problem is, ladies and gentlemen, hobbies don't pay the bills, right? Hobbies don't pay the bills. Therefore, it's not a priority. When you have time, you could do it. But other than that, yeah, other stuff are more important. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where a lot of people stop. You know you have a very special thing about you. You know you have a very, very powerful talent, but you never take it past this phase. It's just a hobby. How can I break from this step and go to step number 4, habit? By show of hands, how many of you here must have a cup of coffee in the morning? So you must have a coffee in the morning. All right, let's say you woke up a little bit late for work. So you showered very quickly, you got your clothes on, and you rushed out of the house, and you didn't have your coffee. How would you feel? Something is not right today, right? I didn't get my fix. Even though it's just coffee. But why does he feel weird? Because he had it every single day, it became a habit. When you break it, something is missing. Something is not complete. And in order for you to break out of the hobby phase, you need to turn this talent or passion that you have into a habit, something that you cannot break. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of the 21 days rule. Have you heard of it? Anything you do for 21 days straight becomes a habit and you cannot break it. So let's start today. If you have a special talent and you like to draw, 21 days straight, draw something. Even on a napkin. You like to read, 21 days straight, read something. Don't break it. You have a body talent, 21 days straight, go to the gym, play a sport, something. Make it a habit. Because when it becomes a habit, it becomes part of who you are. You will never stop. However, you can never adopt a new habit unless you get rid of an old one. Sean Aker is a psychology professor. And Sean's hobby was to play the guitar. So he went to a guitar shop and he bought this very nice, expensive guitar with a stand, came home, sat on his couch, started playing the first day, second day, and then, like everything else, ladies and gentlemen, the guitar ended up in its case, in the closet, in his bedroom. How many of you here have a treadmill at home that you use as a clothing rack? When you bought it first, you used it a few times and then you lost the interest. But why did Sean lose the interest? Because Sean, every time when he comes back from work, he sits on the couch, grab the remote, flip on the TV, and then he remembers the guitar. And then he thinks, I need to get up and go to the bedroom and open the closet and take it out of the case and play. I'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow becomes, I'll do it the day after. And the day after becomes, I'll do it the day after. Why? Because it's difficult. He needs to get up, Go to the room, open it. It's a lot of work. So Sean came up with this rule called the 20-second rule. Anything that you want to adopt, make it 20 seconds or 30 seconds easier to get to. And anything that's distracting you, make it 20 or 30 seconds harder to get to. What Sean did is he bought the stand and he put it in the living room and he put the guitar on it. So now it's a decoration piece, right? He took the remote, took the battery out of the remote, put it in a small box, and put it in his nightstand at the bedroom. And then he went to work. When he came back from work, again, the pattern hits. He sits, grabs the remote, it's not working. And then he remembered the batteries. Oh, I need to get up and go to the room and fetch it. Oh, let me play some guitar. The thing that he wanted to adopt, he made it easier for him to get to. And the thing that was wasting his time, he made it a little bit harder for him to get to. I'll give you an example. How many of you wants to go to the gym? But you can't. You don't have the time, right? Why? Because you finish work, you have to come home, you have to shower, you have to change, get in the car again. Why don't you have a gym bag in your car at all times? Ready. You leave work, you don't even need to go home. My clothes are here. I can go to the gym immediately. How many of you here, before you go to bed, you have to play on your phone? It's wasting your time. Do this, because I did it and it actually worked. I plugged my phone in the charger in the living room, and I had a book on my nightstand. And now I'm in bed, I'm cozy. Do I need to go and get my phone? Let me read some book first. So the thing that you want to adopt or become a habit, find a way to make it a little bit closer to you. But you cannot adopt a new habit unless you get rid of an old one. Think about it for a minute. What is the bad habit that you have that's wasting your time? Think about it for a minute now. How can you make it harder for you to get to? Ask yourself this. How can I make it a little bit harder for me to get to that habit? And that's when we move to the next step. Passion. This is not a hobby anymore. Now you become serious about it. You're going to put money and time to improving yourself. First of all, ask yourself, what is the target that you want to have? Remember SMART goals? Set yourself a specific goal. Don't give it a time. Don't give it a time, but make it a specific goal. Let's say, for example, you're a person who enjoys drawing, and now you want to get serious about it. Maybe the goal will be, one day I'll sell a painting for $5,000. Maybe you like speaking. One day I'll be the district champion. Maybe you like sports, whatever. One day I will lose that many kilos. Have a specific target, because if the end is not clear, it's easy for you to quit halfway through. And always ask for help. Do you remember the talents we talked about earlier? What is your weakest? Musical, right? You said musical is my weakest. Let's say once you know what you find out that you need a little bit of it. Maybe you need to be on the spotlight more. But maybe this is not your strength. I'm not an extrovert person. I don't know how to be. But maybe somebody else can help. Remember when I said earlier, what is your strength? Yes, sir.
Nature.
Huh? Which one is your strength?
Nature.
Nature. And your least?
Musical.
Musical. But maybe you need it. Maybe somebody else need, for example, to lose weight, or, like, I really want to diet, but I don't know how. Here's a person who can help you, because nature people, they care about their body and they care what they put on them. So seek a person who can fill the gap that you have. Look at the weakness that you have and ask yourself, who in my environment can be my coach, can be my mentor? And 10%, ladies and gentlemen, of your money and time will go into improving who you are. I want each one of you here today, think about how much money do you make a month? Don't tell me. But think about how much money do you make a month? 10% of that, not for emergency. No. 10% goes into developing the talent that you have. You like to draw? 10%. Get it? Get a course. Improve yourself. You want to be a social person? 10%. Take an influencer course, or I don't know, buy followers or something, whatever it needs to be done. 10% goes into improving your talent. And ladies and gentlemen, in this phase, it's going to take a very long time because nobody ever succeeds from the first time. The problem is we expect success to happen like that, and that's not the case. You're supposed to fall once and twice and 10 times and 20 times. And every time you do, don't look at it as a failure. Think of it as a lesson, a mistake that you're not going to repeat again. Now, you might make new mistakes, but you're not going to repeat the same mistakes again, which means every time you try and you don't make it, you learn something that will make you get closer the next time. And that leads us, this is what you want to do. Have you ever seen this before? Things you love, things you do well, and things that makes you money. And the goal is to find it. Zoom in so all the things that you do, you're really good at, you enjoy doing it, and it's also making you money. And that's when you reach to the next level, achieving your goal. Let me ask you this question. Do you remember graduating college? Anybody? Raise your hands. Do you remember graduating college? 4 years, studying hard, long nights, a lot of coffee and Red Bulls. And then at the end came the graduation. And when the graduation came, it's just a piece of paper. And you're looking at it thinking, that's it? Because in your mind, you built up that moment of achieving the goal. You thought you're going to be carried on shoulders, and at the end, it's just a piece of paper. In fact, in 2015, when I won the World Championship, I thought to myself, the first person I'm going to call is my dad. Now, again, I'm in the United States. I called him. He's in Saudi Arabia. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. He's sleeping. He answered the phone. What? I said, Dad, I want to tell you something. Your son is the world champion public speaking. I swear to God, he said, how much money is in it? I said, there is no money in it. He's like, so why are you calling me? And then I got the phone. Does that mean my dad doesn't love me? Of course not. I know he loves me dearly. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes the thing that we are passionate about, those close to us may not share the same passion. I'm sure a lot of you, your spouses, they're not into Toastmasters. It's not like they hate it, but it's not their passion. And when you achieve something, and then you think, oh my God, maybe those who are close to you, maybe they don't share the same enthusiasm. And it feels like an empty victory for some reason. Don't forget to celebrate your own success. Remember the 10% I told you to put aside and improve yourself with? I want you to keep saving money to give yourself a specific gift. I want to give you 2 minutes now. I want you to think of something that you really, really desire. Maybe a car, a specific watch, something. Think about it for a minute. Something you really want to purchase, and write it down. And tell yourself, this will be my gift to myself. Once I achieve that goal that I've been chasing, I'm going to go out and buy that car. I'm going to go out and take that vacation. I'm going to go and buy that, whatever it is. Write down your gift and tell yourself, I'm not going to buy it now. I'm going to keep this as a treat for myself once I achieve what I put my mind into. But then a question will come up. You wanted money? Now you're rich. You wanted fame? Now everybody knows who you are. You wanted power? Now you're in a leadership position. Now what? Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard of Doctors Without Borders? Now, Doctors Without Borders is a non-profit organization. The members of these organizations are specialized doctors, heart surgeons and brain surgeons and spine surgeons. Each year, they take a month out of work, no pay, and they travel to a third world country, living in tents in the intense heat to treat people for free. Why would you do that? You're a doctor. You have a lot of money. You could have spent your time in the comfort of your clinic. Why would you do that? Mr. Bill Gates made enough money to the point that if he spends, and when I say spend, I don't mean invest. No, spends. If he spends $1 million every single day, it will last him until he dies. Can you spend $1 million a day? You can't. He can. And what did he do? Gave away 90% of his wealth to charity. Because the last step, ladies and gentlemen, in the journey to success is leaving a legacy. You achieve your goal. Now it's the time to reach back, help, extend a hand, and let somebody else achieve. Be a coach, be a mentor, be a help for people. Don't let it stop with you, because you're not at the end of it. What time is it? Now, I want to leave you with something at the end. What is the measure of success, ladies and gentlemen? See, when I was a young boy, I had a severe stutter, and thus I spent most of my time in my room reading a lot. And therefore, I used to be like the top student in my class. Always number one. Elementary school and middle school, I was always the top student, and I got used to it. But then when I got to high school, I met my worst enemy. His name is Turkey. Let me tell you a little bit about this Turkey guy. Turkey was a very popular student. He was in the theater group, he was in the sports group, he was in the chess club. Everybody knew Turkey. Me, I was a shy, isolated student who sat at the back of the class. The kind of student you look at and think, yep, he's going to be a serial killer one day. Turkey was a very handsome young man. Me, on the other hand, you can see for yourself. Thank you. But then it became worse after the first midterms in high school. The principal walked in and he put a piece of paper on the wall, the top of the list of the top students in the class. And when I looked at the list, Turkey was first. I was second. Have you ever wanted to kill someone? This guy has it all. He's popular, he's handsome, and now he gets my thing. I'm supposed to be number one. You know what? The race is on. I put it my sole purpose to crush him. So for the next midterm, I studied extra hard. I did extracurricular stuff, whatever I had to do, just so I can win this race. And the midterm came, and the list on the wall again. Turkey's first. I was second. You know what really bothered me though? He never studied. Have you ever had that student in your class? But he just walks in and boom, he gets everything. And no matter what I tried, Turkey's always first. I was always second. 3 years of high school, ladies and gentlemen. We finished high school. See, I come from a small town in the south side of Saudi Arabia. So as soon as I finished high school, I applied to a university, a local university, because I've always wanted to be a doctor. So I applied for the medical college and I got accepted. Turkey applied in the same university, got accepted too. And then my dad submitted my grades, whatever, to the government, and they gave me a scholarship to study in the United States. engineering. And now I have a choice. Do I pursue my dream of being a doctor, but hey, I'm gonna be stuck with this guy? Or I can go to the United States while he rotting in my little town. You know what? Screw my dream. Let's go to the United States. And I did. I studied engineering in the US for 4 years, graduated, came back. I got a really good job as a cybersecurity engineer. The pay is good. But in my mind, I kept on thinking, whatever happened to him? I called some of my friends from, back in college. From back in high school. Hey, man, how are you doing? Oh, we're doing great. By the way, how is Turkey doing? Well, he finished his bachelor's degree, and now he's doing his master's degree. Master's degree, you say? This guy gets a master's degree and I don't? I walked straight into my boss's office. I said, I need some time off so I can do a master's degree. My boss said, dude, you just got here. No, work a few years and then we'll see what happens. How can I win this race? Maybe I can do it another way. I worked extra hard. I was promoted before all of my peers. I bought a house and a brand new car. I bet he doesn't have a car. And then a few years later, I called my friends again. Yo, how we doing? Oh, we're doing great. By the way, how is Turkey doing? Well, he finished his master's degree, and now he's doing his PhD. PhD, you say? This guy will get a DR in front of his name, and I don't. No matter what I do, I can never win this race. But hey, maybe I can do it another way. I joined Toastmasters, and 5 years later, I won the world championship. I'm all over the news. Everybody know who I am. I bet nobody know who he is. But then in 2017, I flew to my small town in the south, Saudi Arabia, to visit my parents. And one day I was in a coffee shop, and as I was walking out of the coffee shop, I saw him. I haven't seen him since high school. We shook hands. And then he asked me the question I've been waiting for him to ask all these years. He said, so Muhammad, how are you doing? How am I doing? Oh boy, I've been waiting for this. Let me tell you, how am I doing? And I started telling him about my job that I have. I even showed him my bank statement just to see how much money I have. I told him about the car I drive. I told him about being the world champion or whatever. And with everything I'm telling him, I'm looking in his face. I'm waiting for the look of defeat. I'm waiting for the look that says, yes, Muhammad won and I lost. But to my surprise, with everything I'm telling him, he's smiling more and more. He's happy. He's not supposed to be happy. I won! You're not supposed to be happy. But then I flipped the question. I said, by the way, how are you doing? And he told me he finished his PhD and now he's teaching in the same university. Teaching? How much money do you make? And he said, well, it's never really about the money. Ever since I was young, I've always wanted to be a teacher. And now I get to do it. I'm living my dream. Every day when I come to work, it doesn't even feel like work anymore. And that's when I realized I threw up my own dream of being a doctor just to win a race with a person who's not even racing. Ladies and gentlemen, never compare your success to somebody else. I made that mistake so many times. How many of you here are competing in the contest? Just raise your hand if you are. You already did, yeah. See, when you're doing the contest and then the announcements are announced and maybe you don't win first place, whatever, and then you put it in your mind, next year I'm going to crush this person. Next year I'm going to win against this person. No, the competition you're in is the competition with yourself. Are you better than yourself last year? Are you better than yourself than 5 years ago? Guess what? No matter what you do, there will be someone who's smarter than you. There'll be someone who's richer than you. There'll be someone who's more famous than you. There'll be someone who's prettier than you. And every time you try to just win a race, you will never stop. When we, for example, see people on the most on the list of the richest people in the world, Elon Musk and all these people, ask yourself this question: they have billions, billions, money they cannot even spend. Even if they tried, they can't. They cannot spend all of it, and yet they keep racing, because to those people, success for them is: am I better than Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or what? They are never content. They are never happy. Set yourself a goal. Chase it. If somebody else achieves something else, congratulations, we clap for them. That's it. But my vision and my goal is different. Never value yourself based on somebody else. Your journey is yours. And the only race that you're in is the race with yourself. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you very much for